Welcome back to Studio A. Now, our first guest on tonight is one of the leading comedic talents in the country. He's the host of the hugely popular Gruen Transfer on the ABC. He's in Melbourne to perform his extremely successful Melbourne International Comedy Festival show, Man vs. Will. It gives me a great pleasure to announce a great man, Mr. Will Anderson, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Simon. Well, thank you very much.
Mate, firstly, how's it going?
Mate, it's so nice to be here. Like, you have done a great job with this place. I know you made this all yourself out of paper mache.
This is Art Attack.
Yeah. I like it. It's very cool.
Now, mate, I happen to know you came into a bit of strife the other day. Usually, I guess walk on, but we seated you first. You've broken your back? That's my technical term. You've broken your back?
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I have. I've done it really badly, actually. And I feel like such an old man because, like, I honestly dropped my microphone on stage during my show yesterday. And, in fact, the microphone stand fell over and it was falling into the audience. And there was this, like, old fella who was, like, 75 in the front row and it was going straight towards his head. And I couldn't move my back. So I've stuck out my leg and the leg caught it. It's come straight back up. I've grabbed the microphone stand, turned to the audience like I'm the coolest guy in the entire world, but that wasn't the end. What happened was the microphone stand stopped there and the microphone just flew over my shoulder, hit the ground over there. The old guy just looked at me like, what are you going to do now? It took me 3.5 minutes to get down on my knees to grab the microphone. Oh. Meanwhile, the old fella's like, I can kick this dude's ass.
Yeah. Could have been slightly worse. You could have, as you went for the kick, just booted it straight into his face, giving it more force.
Oh, yeah, man. And he was like a proper old fella, too. Like, he was like, you know, he was 75 years old and he was just sitting there all like someone had shrunk him. And he was like, it was honestly like I was performing to the old guys from The Muppet Show. You know? It was cool.
Now, mate, I saw your show the other night. I loved it. I see your show. I try and see your show every year. I think you do a great job at you take what I call kind of a familiar audience and you take them to unfamiliar territory. Like, I was sitting in front of a crew of about 6 kind of middle-aged guys, right? I'd call them very normal, kind of familiar people. And then you kind of really pushed the boundaries of questioning sexuality and things like that in this show. And at the start, you start to hear them, they're laughing all show, and then you start to hear them kind of go, but by the end of it, they're on board and just loving it.
Yeah, totally. If I'm funny enough, they give each other hand jobs at the end. It's really good. That's how I know the show's gone really well. The ushers are coming in going, oh, we have to clean up again. Gross.
Club X wasn't even this bad.
Yeah. We are doing a Sunday show at the Shaft Cinemas.
Is this a conscious decision to push your audience a little bit, or is it just kind of the stand-up you like writing?
No, I guess it is a conscious decision. Like, I mean, well, I've been doing this for 15 years, you know, and I subscribe to that Nick Cave point of view where he says if people are going to come out of their house just to see what you have to say, then you might as well have something to say, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and so I figure there's these people who are going to come and listen to me talk, so I might as well try to be honest with them about, like, someone described my show to me the other day and they got it better than I did. And he said it in such a bogan way, but this guy came up to me after the show and he goes, you know what your show is? It's just what you reckon, why you reckon it, and why you reckon you might be wrong. And I went, there could not have been a better description of what it is I try to do. I just kind of go, here's what I reckon about the world, and here's all the reasons that what I'm telling you might be completely ridiculous.
So when we see your festival poster next year, the quote, it's just what he reckons, and why he reckons it, some punter in the street just bang on your poster.
No, I'm going to put on my poster this year a comment from the Herald Sun readers section.
Awesome.
Because there was an article about me and then someone underneath had a real go at me and they said, I would never go and see his show. He's a sleeve bag. And I was like, well, learn to spell, then come so you'll understand the words. You know? I just loved the idea that I was now a sleeve bag.
Now, 15 years ago, was your first comedy festival show?
Yeah.
I saw you in a 1,000-seater and it was full at the Athenaeum. Where was? Do you remember where your first festival show was?
Yeah, it was in the town hall, but it was in a tiny little room in the town hall. There was nights when I performed to 2 people because I always thought if there was more people than there was in the cast, so like if there was more than one, I would perform to 2. And there was certainly a couple of nights that I had to cancel that year, but I've been proud to say that in 15 years since then, I've never had to cancel a show, which is cool. But I'm wearing the shoes. These shoes that I'm wearing this year are my Year 11 high school Doc Martens, and like These shoes are 21 years old, and I was wearing them just because I wanted to do something special for the 15th year. So these were the shoes I was wearing when I dreamed of being a comic. So I thought it would be kind of cool to wear those shoes in the show and then like go, oh, well, that's cool. When I first dreamed of doing this, and now 15 years here, I'm doing it. But then I walked down in Adelaide one night, and the front row was just full of 16-year-old girls. And firstly, I was like, did you think this was Josh Thomas? But then secondly, I just couldn't obsess about this fact that my shoes were 5 years older than these girls who were sitting in the audience. And it started to freak me out. I was like, if I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I would bring my shoes rather than those girls because they had more life experience.
Now, let me ask you, you're so successful, kind of country over. Gruen Nation, Gruen Transfer is killing it at the moment. You've taken off to the States to do stand-up over there. Is this world domination? Is this what we're shooting for?
Oh, I mean, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? But no, not really. Like, I just like doing stand-up, Tommy. You know me. And I just like, I like the feeling when you first start out, you know? I think that's the best feeling you ever have in your life, is when you first start doing something that you dreamed of doing. And it's like, this is why coming to somewhere like here is exciting, because there's a whole bunch of people who want to do this as a career, and they're starting out, and it's just so exciting to make something. Like, after a while, it becomes your job after 15 years. So I wanted to reconnect with that feeling of like, I was driving like 2 hours to joints to do 7 minutes for free.
Yeah,
and
right.
you know, walking into rooms with blokes who were like, you know, and you know what I realised? I am not attractive. I thought I was attractive. No, I'm just on the tally. And the other thing is, no one is interested in what I have to say in a comedy room. Like here in Australia, if I say something, people stop and listen to me. And I always thought I was interesting. No, people are just being polite. In America, they're like, shut up, we don't know you. You're not interesting. So it was really humbling.
So what's plans for the next year? Are you going to spend more time over in the States? Is this the goal? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I go New Zealand, then America, then I do some London and Ireland dates, and then I come back here to Gruen later in the year.
Yeah, awesome. Will, I do want to take this opportunity to thank you. You're so supportive of new comedians. You often mention at the end of the shows, go and see new comedians and things like that. I've had no one be better to me in comedy than you, so I really appreciate it. On a personal level, thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go and see a show. It's at the Athenaeum Theatre for the whole run of the Comedy Festival. It's called Man vs. Will. I saw it the other night. It's awesome. Get along. Tickets on the website. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Will Anderson.
Thank you.